Hello and welcome everybody to Bricks and Toys. My ass hurts. And that's because this is just making no sense and being quite ridiculous. Filming the beginning part of this build, I am wrapping up the end of the last full build and review we had on the channel just a few short days ago. That was the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit, which was a $80 Star Wars set. Now I'm sitting here with a $450 McLaren P1 Technic set. Gosh dang. Now I will say, this right here is far better for the money than the Sarlacc Pit and Desert Skiff. There is no planned secret releases around this. This did come with a promo. I did not bring that to set for some weird reason. I'll show it at the end of the video if I remember. We're not going to build the promo because it's just a letter P with a 1. That's what the car is. McLaren P1. We don't need a rotating sign to go with the car. What makes no sense about this whole adventure is, as I'm building these expensive Lego sets, I am still selling some of my retired Lego sets that's worth about what this is worth, and they're going out the door. So I'm literally selling Lego for the price of the Lego that I'm building. It makes absolutely no freaking sense what the hell we're doing here. Now, the things that I'm selling is strictly in order to survive, and we all know the golden rule. If you sell Lego still in production, you won't get paid crap for it, but if you sell stuff that fell out of production, then it's pretty much an open market that everybody generally has a price for. So the things that I'm selling are the things that, you cannot buy. This, on the other hand, just came out in August. This is one of our August sets that we bought that I still need to review. Now, I did say earlier on that the Burrow is the first project actually bought by the channel, but what I actually meant was the Burrow is the first project bought by the channel, which is me, for the new apartment only. There's been several sets, including this one, that I personally bought, and I was trying to figure out a really good time to build this set. Now, going to my ass hurts, well guys, like I said, I just built the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit for $80. I'm about to build this for $450. The reason that we're doing this now, and instead of from a month from today like I originally planned, was because, well, I might be bending over and taking it for a Java's sail barge. So I don't want to do two $450 sets in the same month. It makes not a lot of sense to me, but does anything make sense when you're a YouTuber? I mean, come on guys, let's just be real here. Let's continue on. $450, well, 449 US dollars here in the US, and this is what I think the front of the box looks like, but this also is the bottom of the box. That's kind of weird. Now, we do know that the specialty 1/8 scale, or whatever the hell this is, 1/8 Lego set, Technic sets, whatever you want to call them, they do come with special packaging that sometimes makes no sense, but it does the marketing, and it's supposed to look more like a designer fashion piece than an actual traditional box. That's what we're going to deal with here. Every single one of these boxes are done a specific way, and they're very fun to open up. Now let's take a look at the box. We have, like I said, the bottom of the box, but it's the front marketing pitch of the box, where we see the P1 right there at the top. Up there in the furthest right corner, we have the 1/8 scale. Smack dab in the middle, we have the car. And boy, wow. I said it all along. Lamborghinis are cool, Ferraris are cool, I'll build them to build them. That orange Porsche, blue Bugatti, I kind of want those a lot more than I do the green Lambo and the red Ferrari. But you make a freaking McLaren, I'm on it. I think I am a McLaren guy for a modern day hypercar, supercar, whatever the hell you want to classify it as. I just like McLarens. I don't know. They're just doing something different, and I dig it. This, to me, looks remarkable on the box. You can see lots of part usage, even some like teeth elements to make the headlights, a lot of traditional elements, But then we have printed wheel caps, you know, the one-by-one little dots of the McLaren logo. Just really cool detail to expect from this set. Continuing down, Lego, McLaren, branded down. A lovely scratch because this was purchased in Las Vegas. Moved up here, and this box has been in my gosh dang way. When you are trying to move into a place that's half of the size or a third of the size that you came from, and you have a box this big, it gets in the way. That's another reason why I'm picking to build this set, is because it's just in my butt in terms of trying to do things around my house. No matter where I put it, it's just not the right spot. Thus, the beautiful scratch. Coming down, we have a blue carbon fiber weave at the bottom, signifying that this is an 18 and older set, which is numbered right there. Set number is going to be 42172, coming in at 3,893 pieces. Now for a normal Lego build, that's not so bad. But for a Technic build, that's a buckle the hell up, and let's enjoy this road trip. And that's what we're going to do. Now let's start going around this box, starting off with what I believe is the side and not the top. Here we have the specs of the set. Once again, more lovely denting and scratching all over this box because, like I said, it's always in my way. We have Legal Eagles barcodes, Lego Builder app info, and the do not eat it. All packed in nicely down there with a lot of the carbon fiber weave in a kind of like a honeycomb pattern or something like that. And I think this is trying to angle out a P1 logo on that box. Coming around here, we have Lego Technic McLaren. More of that weave right there. Coming around over here, we have a 1-to-1 of one of the wheels. Of course, they're going to be big as hell. This is a big as hell car. I intentionally bought a Billy bookcase for my room for Lego Technic cars, and specifically, I made a shelf. Like, I bought an extra shelf for this car to share a space with the Lamborghini Cyan. Going on to the next, same thing as the other side, featuring more lovely dents in my box due to the move. Now, speaking of the move, we have more damages up here in the corner and down here from the move. But if we can look past the box damages, we will see the P1 logo is kind of bossed out, which feels really nice. There is some more of that carbon fiber weave going on through. And then we can see its fine rear end. Now, this is not the fine rear end of the Technic version. This is the actual P1. The P1, I believe, is considered to be a hypercar, featuring basically a hybrid battery system, kind of like a F1 car does. So you have battery assist, or an electric motor assisted engine. So you have like a 4-liter something V8 backed by an electric motor. You hit the gas, electric magic mixes in with combustion magic, and it's supposed to be like, woohoo! Regardless, we all know the P1 from the Weeknd song of P1 cleaner than your church shoes, hon. You gotta snort that ivory off the table, or whatever he says. So I guess the P1's synonymous with the Weeknd and cocaine. Regardless, that rear end looks great. We have McLaren, Lego Technic down here at the bottom to complete the box. Now let's cut open this box and let's see what is inside. To get this party started, we're going to have some tape right here to cut, just like that. Come over here, and we're going to have more tape. I can't really see what tape I am cutting. I'm going to slide over here. I'm going to have another piece right here at the bottom, and another piece right here at the bottom. So 4 pieces of tape should open her up. Let's keep my knife off to the side because we might need it. Let's give her a nice lift and do the first look inside. There we go. We have the P1, the actual P1 car. Now we have gone into a orange traditional carbon fiber weave as the backdrop. Will you just look at this car? I still can't justify paying $500,000 for a flooded one like a certain YouTuber did, but I can see why you would want one of these cars for a couple million. They are just breathtaking. We're going to open up the flap, And we have more to look at. Wow. So over here we have an action shot of the McLaren coming out of like a race track. That is just freaking gorgeous. Then we have the front half of the car with an electric, kind of like a light beam coming through. And then it shows the internal workings of the Technic components. And that's just what's left on that flap alone. So let's open up that. And then we have another look of the actual P1 over here. So we have the Technic side of it over here. And then we have the actual side. Do these actually just lift out? These actually lift out. Now, it does look like they're folded up. No, they don't open up any more than that. They're just glued. So let's take out our flaps here. Let's keep these for safekeeping. Those are really cool. Now we have the car in its Technic entirety. Now this section has its roof. We have 1 box, 2 box, 3, maybe more. Let's lift a box. Let's find out. Okay, so that's your center box. I guess you're supposed to pull the center out first in order to get your other boxes. Let's go ahead and pull those out. Let's get a good look at them. There we go. Simple as that. That's a really nice box. And then we have our final box, which features our front nose. At the very, very bottom, we have the books. I'm going to lift this up so you guys can get a look. There's book 01, book 02. Let's put this back down. Let's grab book 1. Book 1 is pretty good filling. We're going to have P1 information in the beginning of the book. Do we have stages with this set? I don't know. Let's find out. So, more information. I cannot wait to read all of this. There we go. Does not look like we have bag counts. So we get right into the action of it all. But it does say exhaust and rear suspension, just like we have done with the Lamborghini Cayenne. It breaks it down to the sections you're building it in. The first book is going to take you on a journey of 554 steps and 415 pages. And we'll go into the second book. Going and looking, there is some more P1 stuff, not too much. Front suspension and steering, that's what it's explaining that you're going to build. It picks you up at step at 545, and it takes you all the way to 1,000 steps and 378 more pages. So we almost have, 800 pages and 1,000 steps. This is a big, big build. Looking at the bottom of the box, we see some more details in there of the vehicle. I swear, nothing is left not printed. So let's set our books back down in the box. That's just really nice. Let's now take this and set this off to the side. Let's start seeing what's in these boxes. We'll start off with the middle one first, as that's the first one we opened up. It opens up like that. So we have traditional plastic bags. They all are pretty large. Here we have some chassis components just floating around. Some elements like control arms I've never seen before. It is important to note. I'm not going to lay all of this out if it seems pretty within reason. So the center box may actually be your first box. Now let's close this back up nice and neat. We don't want to ruin it. There we go. We want to save these. Now I don't know if it's going to be the front or the back. Next, with the lineup of boxes, let's open this one up. Well, that answers it. The back's the next. So let's set this off to the side. So in this one, we're going to see bags 13. We're going to have an extra bag of the fenders. It's a really lovely orange color. Then we're going to have 17, 12. I think I'm looking for bag 8 to signify that this is the right box. We have more small pieces and control arms. So bringing the wheels back over, you guys can get a nice look at those beauties. Those just look lovely. We are on the final box. Then we have our tires. Look at those low pro suckers. Wow. And they feel nice to the hands too. So that is our third box. Lots of goodies. Just getting a look at those lovely wheels. Beautiful. Now I will say the higher end Technic vehicles, they make one hell of an unboxing experience. Now, this is going to be a long-term project for me. I did not spend all that money to just light it on fire and speed build it. So with that, I'm going to enjoy this build. I'm going to take some time. And for you guys, well, here's the finished project. Okay, everybody, so let's start our review of the McLaren P1. Now, we're going to shoot this review kind of in a stationary form because this thing is huge. I mean, this is my hand, and that's just the roof section alone. This thing is freaking massive. So, we do have a specifications plaque, which basically is a printed on a satin plate, so not the glossy plate like we got with the Interceptor earlier this year. It says McLaren P1. It's not built with any really special techniques, just 4 pieces, and there's your plaque. Let's go over some of the things that I thought it was going to have, and some of the things that I do see that I really like. First off, we do have butterfly doors. Opens up just like that. That's about probably as many parts as a $50 Technic car, just in the door alone. Now, I did think that this back clamshell was going to be easily removable, but in order to remove it, you do have to remove the spoiler, which does come up through a little gear here on the back. You do have to remove that, remove these 2 pins. Heck, you know what? I'll show you. So, to remove this, you take off the rear spoiler, just like that. You pull off these 2 pins up here, 1 and 2, and then you're able to lift and remove that, and then you can get a look at all of the detail. And while we're in here, let's look at that detail, everybody. I can't do this review without showing you the architecture inside of this car. So with the car up on its side, we have some existing roof elements with some printed right there, printed P1 on that V8 engine. Somewhere, whether it's in the front or in the back, I think it's over here in the front, there's the hybrid motors, the simulation to the Technic. We have the exhaust coming down with the gold foil on that. You can see the rear diff. Underneath the engine is that 7-speed gearbox featuring new gear components to make that work. They didn't want to go 6, they didn't want to go 8, they wanted to go 7 to keep it legit. So they actually made new gears to make that work. The exhaust comes down and out the back. And here you guys can get a better look at the gear that articulates that wing. That just works just like that. And it's pretty cool that right here on camera, you can just pop that on and pop that off. But let's take a look at the back. Here we have the lights. We have some of the, solid red color, resembling the LED lights that we would get on the actual car. We have some light bluish gray elements making the rear, top of the engine cover. And we have the McLaren printed right there. And overall, a really good build structure on that clamshell. Now, while we have this apart, let's pull out our pins and we'll slide it back in. When you put this together, you have to kind of thread the needle on the exhaust here in the back. I'll show you guys here in a second to get that to go. But you push those 2 pins back down and you can easily lock that wing and lower it. So that's the back half of the car. Wrapping that part of the video up, let's bring you guys around. This car is almost 7 pounds, so she is a big, big girl. Looking at the back of the car, there is that exhaust port that you kind of got to thread through everything, because when you lift up the wing, they use, 3 normal seat elements as a kind of a bucket to keep it where it looks full and not incomplete under the rear spoiler. So there is that. There's the gear. There's some nice foliage on the rear end. Lift it up a little bit, let you guys get a good look, and bring you guys around to this side. Like on the other side, butterfly doors. I did that a lot smoother that time around. I do want to note the wheels. They are really nice. Perfect low profile tires. I love all of the foliage and all the air intakes along the side. I think that looks really good. Now, looking at the front of the car, we do have the front, or the frunk, that opens up. We get our traditional handbag accessory, whatever the hell you want to call that. I'm not going to glorify it. It's a WTF type of thing. Under the frunk, underneath of that, printed element for the McLaren. There is little McLaren logos printed all over the place. This is a McLaren P1, obviously. System bricks installed onto Technic for the front middle here. Lots of wonderful Technic usage right here to get all of these parts done. The lights are a little lacking with the solid colors. They did that in the rear at the red. They do it here at the white. But it looks the part for most of the time. I guess that's what matters. Now let's take a look under the car really quick for you all. And you guys can see the severity of everything that it takes to build this car by looking at its underside. Putting it back down, I do want to point out that we do have a simulated disc brake, well, it would be carbon ceramic, I believe, on this car, with a little McLaren logo for the brake caliber. Now let's bring you guys off and let's look at everything up close on the inside so you guys can get a look at the interior. Okay, being up close and personal with it. Opening up the door, you guys can get a look at all of the componentry on the opposite side of that door. And then you guys can get a look at the interior. There we have our gear selector. There we have our seats with nice bolstering. There we have our serial number for this type of set. Here we have the what would be the flappy paddle F1 style gearbox. Downshift, upshift. Not going to do it. There's no need to do it. We do have functional steering, which I would hope so if they go through all the detail that you see. And there we have our center cluster. Let's go around. There is your roof of the vehicle with those printed elements up close and the P1 of the engine and then the McLaren. I think that looks really nice. But with you guys up close, I can show you the seat buckets that are used to fill in the space under the wing right down here. Pretty unique. I just think that's so cool how you can take that apart as easy as I did. There is a top of the dash, and I want to point out we have some solid elements right here holding up that roof, not these pipes that we're used to, but actual solid plastic. Coming around on this side, we're going to open up this door, let you guys get a look. Looks like on the other side, lots of Technic components to make it happen. And there you get a look at the other side of the dash and that screen in the middle and the way that the seat is done. Wrapping up this review, I do want to show you guys in box is the promo. If you got this set back in August, you likely got one of these promos. This is 6535736, the P1 logo. 178 pieces, all Technic components, and I guess it's just made to where the P1 logo can go in circles. I think it would look great right next to the car, but being honest here, it looks even better in the box, kind of. Let's wrap up this video and finish up some thoughts. Here we are at another sad moment of another video. It's a sad moment because this is when I have to wrap up the video, share my final thoughts, and then say farewell, and, well, you'll see me on the next one. But my final thoughts on this car is it's a niche market. Not everybody's going to want to build a damn near 4,000 piece Technic car. A lot of the thrill that you get with Technic, and it took me a long time to realize this, and around the time I did the Lamborghini Cyan, which this I would consider to be its brother, I realized that Technic is not about using pins and beams and parts to create a vehicle. It's about simulating the engineering of actual cars and their marvels and transferring that engineering over into Technic. That's why they have 7-speed gearboxes in these cars. That's why this car has a simulation of the hybrid motor. That's why they do what they do. That's the coolest thing about these. It's not about trying to build it from sticks. It's about building it from sticks, but it's about gears and components. And that's exactly what you spend a lot of time in box number 1 with. The majority of box number 1 is just pins and gears and pins and gears, clutch mechanisms and things like that to get that back section complete. You don't build the front suspension until, I think, box number 3 or at the end of box number 2, somewhere in there. Because this is what Technic is about on this back half. I think his car is really freaking cool. I think its promo is really cool. I don't know if I've said it before, but I'm actually going to display this with the car on the shelf and not open it because it might be worth more money down the line to keep it whole than to tear it open and have it displayed. Plus, after building 3,900 pieces of Technic pins, my fingers hurt and I don't want to build another 178 pieces. With all that said, I'm glad that I've done it. This is one of the first cars I paid with my own money on it. It was a lot to digest paying $500 for a car like this, but it was extremely worth it. It took me 3 days to build it. I did a box a day. If I had any advice to give, I would say do the first box over a period of 2 days, and then do each box a day after that. So take 4 days to build this car, soak in all the engineering, and enjoy the marvel that it is, and don't do it in 3 days. That first box takes an entire day to get done, and you should only be spending a half a day to build something like this at the most. That's when it's the most fun. So on that, use your best judgment if you want to buy it for your collection. I know it's going to look great in my room next to my Cyan, and I can't wait to see it there. So with that, if you guys want to support the LEGO channel, there's 2 ways to do so. Right down below your screen, there's a little thank you button. When you hit that, you can leave a small donation. Anything you guys can donate helps us get LEGO sets like this and what's behind me. Equally as important, if you guys just want to hit that subscribe button and follow along with everything that we do here, that would be super appreciated. As usual, if you can just like the video by hitting that thumbs up button and share the video with your friends, I would super appreciate that. And most importantly, if you guys want to drop your comments down below, let me know what you guys think about this. You Technic people out there are some of my biggest views. Next to getting my scam videos, which is the Titanic, my Technic vehicles do really well. So I appreciate all of you guys watching that support the Technic stuff. And I would really love what you have to say about this car, because I know it's not 100% one-to-one. You know, parts are limited. But I'm very happy with this product. I would like to hear why not, and if you did get it, why? So with that, thank you so much for watching. Let's head into the month of October. We got some cool stuff to review, and we'll see you then.